Hi, welcome to my channel, welcome back. This is Chris. I hope you're doing great. Today we're going to talk about a small portable light by Weeylite. This is the Ninja 200. Weeylite, for those that don't know, is a sub-brand from Viltrox. And I'm going to tell you my pros and my cons in case you're looking into buying one of these. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Let's start with the pros. The first thing is the size. It is very compact, very small. In fact, if I close this here, you can see how it really fits in my hand without any problem. And that is very useful when you're traveling lightweight. The other thing is that it looks good. I think it looks great. They have this grayish look here, the little green highlights, and even the back with the little dial here is pretty neat the way they did it. It can be powered through 2 NPF batteries. You have an adapter like this that you can buy separately, or you can get it in the package. It has 2 little screws at the back like this, which you basically attach right here. And that gives you the possibility with this little cable here that attaches to the light to power your light with NPF batteries. The cool thing about NPF batteries is that a lot of people own them already for many other purposes and reasons. It is cheaper than a V-Lock. Also, V-Locks are bigger, heavier, and they give more power for usually lights that require more power. This is a 60 watt light, so it's not gonna be a problem. It is bicolor, which means you can go all the way from 2800 to 8500. It is basically going to go throughout the whole spectrum from tungsten, really warm for indoor, and you can go all the way with cooler light, passing by obviously daylight, 5600 Kelvin. So that is always a plus in the light, unless you need to have something more powerful, for which I would suggest you using a 5600 daylight light and then adding a gel on top of it if you need to have something a bit warmer, a bit more tungsten. It has 95 CRI. It is now pretty much a standard to have at least 95 in a light. So the colors that you're gonna get with your camera using this light are gonna look good. It is quite strong. Like I said, it's a 60 watt light. They claim it can do 70,400 lux at 0.5 meters, which is actually pretty good. I mean, it's pretty strong. It is dimmable, so you can go from 0 to 100 by 100 steps, basically, which is always something useful. I appreciate having that on a set, because when you need to have a little bit more light, you can do so, and it gives just a little bit more power to have the right exposure and the right light setting that you're going for. You can control this light with an app, which is great. For many, it's gonna be awesome to have everything on your phone, no remote, no nothing. The only problem with that is that I own a lot of different lights from different brands, and each time I have a different app. I wish there was one app that controls all of your lights from all the brands, and that would make things so much easier. But instead, every brand comes up with their own app, which when you go on a set or you go on a shoot or you're with a client, I hate having to pull out my phone and searching for which app I'm using for which light and so on and so forth. So there is a little remote which I asked them to send it with, which is this little guy here, RC11. It is all made of plastic, but it works great. And instead of using an app, I use a little remote. This is the perfect time for me to tell you that I wasn't paid to do this review. I did get the light for free, but this is my own personal opinion. There are a bunch of special effects, the usual special effects such as faulty light bulb, television, fireworks, and other effects like that. The thing is, this is a bicolor light, it is not RGB, so I'm not going to use these effects, unfortunately, because fireworks that are only white or yellow, I prefer having this on RGB light. It is just under 1 kilo, so it is a lightweight little light, which along with the great small design and the portable size, I think makes it a very nice light if you're on the go or run and gun, or if you want something a little bit more powerful that you can bring with you in a small space. There is a USB-C at the back right here. For future updates, I didn't find how to update this light on the website or anywhere for that matter. I've been looking for updates, but I don't find them. So yeah, I guess in the future, if they do an update, you will be able to update your light with it. Last but not least, they give you a great little case, this guy here, which makes it nice and portable. There with the little blue highlights on the side. It is not too thick, you see. And inside here, you can really put everything. There are a bunch of cons with this light. Some of them are deal breakers for me, and I'm gonna tell you why. First and foremost, the fan noise. So when you turn on this light, I'm gonna show you right now. You hear the fan noise right away, like, and we are at 41%, okay? Now let's dim this down to 0. Turn it off. Okay, now we're set to 0. Turn it on. There is literally no light coming out of this thing, but the fan is going on. Can you hear the fan? So I'm gonna put it far away, okay? Here. See what I mean? And that is a deal breaker for me, right there. The fact that you have a fan that turns on automatically, even when the light is not actually sending out any type of light, it is a problem. Now you can go in the menus and you can change that. You can turn it off, basically. There's no auto mode, but there's an on or off. And when you turn it off, the problem is that it might start overheating, and it is a safety hazard to have a light that can overheat and, I don't know, melt or catch on fire even, or whatever the hell could happen with this light. So that is a big con, because if you're recording the audio, you will hear it. Now there's the inverse square law that you might know. The farther away you go with the light, the more power, like the more you lose basically power. And the farther away the point is of your light, the harsher it's gonna be, which means that you're gonna have to diffuse that light, otherwise it's gonna be too harsh. So the fact of diffusing light makes you lose some stops of light. So this is like basic laws of lighting, but here, you have this light that makes a lot of noise, so you can't really do anything in terms of audio recording with it. So if you're just gonna use this for B-roll, for example, it's fine. Or if you're gonna use it for anything that doesn't require sound, it's okay. But if you're gonna record wild sounds, it's a big no-no. If you're gonna record yourself shooting a video, YouTube video like the one I'm doing now, it's a big no-no. For an interview, it's a big no-no. So there, that is my biggest beef with this light, which for me is a deal breaker. The other thing is, the Bowen Mount. Okay, Bowen Mount here, this is what they give you, okay? So the light it has some, their own, I think, their own mount, little mount. And you can plop this thing on, which I'm gonna do right now to show you how it looks. So if you put this thing on, like so, there. You have a Bowen Mount now, okay? But the problem is that this is all made of plastic, all of it. Look, I'm gonna try to show you here. This is all plastic. The handle, this screw here, this part, all of this, everything is made of plastic. So when I put some bigger softbox, I tried with one that's 90 centimeters diameter, it tilts down. Literally, it tilts down like this. If you put something a bit smaller, I tried with an 85, same thing. So it's not really made for bigger soft boxes. Maybe you can put a beauty dish. I tried with a lantern, it was okay. That held up okay. But yeah, you do have that little problem that if you put this on a tripod, this is made of plastic, I don't know if it's gonna hold over time or if it's just gonna break. So this is a bit of a bummer. They should maybe make it a little bit more expensive, but put a metal part here that will hold your modifier properly and that will not tilt down, you know? So yeah, that is another deal breaker to me. In terms of price, we're right now, I think around $150, $200, which is pretty good for a light like this. I mean, it has quite some power to offer. It has some good features. They give you a little pouch. So for someone that needs a light that doesn't cost a lot of money, this should do. But again, depends what you're gonna use it for. If you're gonna use it to record audio, sounds, noises, anything, this is not gonna work. So I tell you right now, in fact, I made a video for a chef where I was trying to use this light. It didn't work out because of the noise and because it was tilting down. So I had to switch back to my main source of light, which is another one, and put this as a secondary background little light for which I can use that tube that I have behind me there, or I have a ton of little lights which work just as well. And they're not as strong, but for what I need, they're fine. There, I hope I answered all of your questions. If I didn't, write it down in the comment section below. I'll answer gladly, like always. And keep shooting, take care, and I see you soon. Bye.